get right into this. I want you to imagine you're at the absolute end of your rope. Seriously, every single safety net you thought you had is just gone. You're staring down a personal and financial crisis that is so complete it feels like your world is ending. Today, we're going to explore what happens when that person you thought you were is forced to just completely surrender. And this is that moment, right? The moment of impact. The buffer's gone, there's a huge payment looming, and the numbers on the screen basically feel like a death sentence. You can feel it in your body, that raw physical terror, the heart pounding in your chest, the feeling of being totally, utterly trapped. This isn't just some problem you need to solve, it feels like a threat to your very existence. But here's where we need to shift our perspective just a little. What if this crisis isn't something you're supposed to escape from, but something you're meant to go through? What if all this pressure, all this intensity, isn't actually meant to break you, but to spark some kind of profound internal transformation? That's the real question we're diving into. So that intense feeling you have in a moment like that, it turns out it's not just fear. According to the source material we're looking at, it's something else entirely. It's the actual vibration of your core identity. You know, the person you believe yourself to be, literally being burned away. Okay, so what's really going on inside your head here? Well, it's like there are two completely different views of reality at war with each other. On one side, you've got me. That's the ego. It's the part of you that thinks it's the one in control, the one driving the car. It defines itself by its past, its bank account, its big plans. And for me, this crisis is a fight for its life. But then, there's another perspective. Let's call it I. And I isn't a person. It's more like an awareness, an observer. It sees life as a flow, a current, and it gets that this crisis isn't a threat, it's a necessary course correction. And that pressure, it's there for a reason. The whole situation gets so intense because it's systematically shutting down every single escape hatch you have. Your savings, your credit, all your old tricks. It's like all the doors back to the old world, the world where me was in charge, are being slammed and locked. There's no way back. The only way out is forward, into something completely new. And this brings us to a really radical and honestly kind of terrifying idea from the guide in our source text. It says that this phase of life, it's just not designed for the me, for the ego, to survive at all. Just let that sink in for a second. Every instinct you have, every fiber of your being is screaming, survive, figure this out, get through this. You're desperately trying to find a way to navigate the storm. And then the guide just comes in and says, nope, you can't. The very part of you that is trying so hard to survive is the one thing that isn't supposed to. So if me doesn't make it, what does? Well, it's not the person, the personality, the name on your ID, what the source calls the avatar. No. What survives is the movement of I. It's that underlying current, the flow itself. Survival gets completely redefined. It's not about preserving yourself anymore. It's about the continuation of a process that moves through you. And this is the question that changes everything. This is the moment of surrender. When me finally throws its hands up, when it finally accepts it cannot win this fight, what happens then? What does it actually feel like when you're no longer the one driving, but you're just along for the ride? The source describes this unbelievable shift that happens the very next morning after this surrender. And it's not gradual. It's like you go to sleep with one operating system and wake up with a completely different one installed. Suddenly, the whole internal landscape is just different. That constant anxious loop of racing thoughts, it's just gone. And in its place is this deep, profound silence. The crisis, the thing that was so terrifying just hours before, it's still there, but it feels distant now, like you're watching it on a TV screen. And there's this really distinct feeling that, well, nobody's in the driver's seat anymore. It's empty. Now, it's really important to get this. This isn't some unhealthy disassociation. It's a fundamental change in function. The ego, the me, it hasn't vanished. It's just been reassigned. It's shifted from being the operator, the driver making all the decisions, to being the user interface. It's the dashboard now. It's the screen that displays information, shows you the emotions and the thoughts. But it no longer believes it's the one steering the car. Okay, so if me is now the user interface, what in the world is this I that seems to be running the show? Let's get into the mechanics of this new reality. The moving I isn't some new, better version of you. It's described as the flow of energy itself.
The best way to think about it is like a river finding the easiest path down a mountain. It just naturally moves along the path of least resistance. In physics, that's related to minimizing entropy, or disorder. The point is, it's not a thing, it's a movement. It's a process.
So your entire way of operating just flips. The old way, the me-driven way, was all about effort and struggle. Me would look at past data, worry about the future, and try to force things to happen. And that created constant friction, constant resistance. But the new way, the I-driven way, is totally different. It sees reality as just unfolding, and the I simply observes what's happening and flows with it, without trying to fight it or change it. There's zero resistance.
And this, right here, this is the heart of it all. The big shift is from being an active agent, the one who has to do life, to becoming this receptive channel. Life isn't something you have to go out and make happen anymore. It's something you get to witness happening through you. Which leaves us with this final, really powerful question. It kind of turns this whole thing back on all of us. When you finally let go of that immense effort of trying to control and manage and live your life, what takes over? What deeper intelligence, what natural flow begins to live and express itself through you? It's a pretty profound thought to end with.